Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
The Prime Minister is not ruling out getting Canada involved in the ongoing war in the Middle East. Hi, I'm Virjesh Dave. This is Big Headlines, everything you need to know to be in the know in just 5 minutes. It can't be categorically ruled out. That's the message from Prime Minister Mark Carney when asked about Canada's potential future involvement in the war in Iran. Canada was never given a clear heads up about the initial U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran, but Carney says we will always defend Canadians and defend our allies when called upon. The Prime Minister acknowledged how quickly the war is spreading.
It's getting more complex as time goes on. But we absolutely stand by the fundamental principle that Iran should not be allowed to have a nuclear weapon and to continue to be a serial violator of international law.
Carney is in Australia right now, but much of the focus during his international trade trip has been on the war in the Middle East, which broke out shortly after his trip began. Carney's largely kept his remarks on this trip focused on trade and on Canada's relationships with other countries. He made no mention of the war during an address to both houses of Australia's parliament. Drones and missiles continue to fly across the Middle East on the sixth day of the war. The U.S. and Israel are still pummeling Iran with attacks as Iran carries out drone and missile strikes across the Middle East. CNN's Bijan Hosseini was forced to shelter in an underground parking garage in Doha, Qatar this morning because of attacks by Iran.
We counted 4 waves, probably the loudest and the longest series of interceptions that we've experienced since reporting from this location for the last 6 days.
Azerbaijan is now accusing Iran of firing drones at its territory, hitting a school and an airport. An Iranian missile heading towards Turkey was also reportedly shot down by NATO forces. Evacuation efforts are ramping up across the region as countries around the world scramble to get their citizens out of danger. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says thousands of Canadians have reached out to ask for help getting out of the Middle East, most of them in the United Arab Emirates. She says the federal government is looking at ways to help, including possibly chartering flights for Canadians. Gas prices across Canada have gone up sharply since the war in Iran broke out. In Calgary, gas is 9 cents a litre more expensive than it was a week ago, and in Toronto, the price at the pumps is up 11 cents in the past 3 days. Enpro's chief petroleum analyst Roger McKnight tells City News prices could fall, though, as quickly as they've gone back up.
I think they'll come back rather quickly because I think a lot of it's being priced on emotion. It's on futures pricing. It's the traders on Wall Street are looking at the futures price. They're guessing as to where this thing is going to go.
The main factor driving gas prices going higher is the closure of the Iran-controlled Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping lane for the world's crude oil supply. Also making big headlines, BC's infrastructure minister says the portable classrooms that have been set up for students of Tumbler Ridge Secondary School are an important step toward getting students and staff back into a routine and connected with one another after a mass shooting left 9 people dead, including the shooter. The portables are on the nearby elementary school's sports field, but some experts are warning about the risks associated with avoidance and the long-term impacts that can have on victims of this type of trauma. Dr. Arash Javanbakht is a trauma-focused psychiatrist with the University of Michigan.
In the immediate aftermath, it is good to give these kids some time to be away, but you don't want to enforce avoidance. At the end, you want the kids to learn the school is safe now.
It comes as Canada's AI minister is announcing that OpenAI has agreed to strengthen safeguards on its platforms. Police say the Tumbler Ridge shooter was banned from OpenAI's ChatGPT just months before the shootings because of some troubling interactions. Singer Britney Spears has been arrested for a DUI. TMZ reports Spears was arrested on Wednesday in Southern California. She was released from jail early Thursday morning. The 44-year-old has had some of music's biggest hits from the late 90s to the early 2010s. She's also faced a number of legal and personal problems during her career, including a hit-and-run charge in 2007, which was eventually dropped, and she wasn't accused of being under the influence in that case. In recent years, Spears made international news with her successful legal battle to get out of a conservatorship she was placed in by her father. If you haven't listened yet, today on the Big Story podcast, how are the Epstein files giving new life to conspiracy theories? Host Karen Siolan speaks to conspiracy theory researcher Travis View.
As you mentioned there, the emails contain hundreds of mentions of pizza. It was or is on online speculation that pizza is a code word for sex, or that, a youth sports team pizza party was a pedophile code. Like, in your estimation, though, like, pizza is just pizza. Like, Epstein wouldn't have needed to write in code, does he?
No, especially when you really, it was sort of shocking how blunt some people are in their communications. For example, in one instance, the billionaire Richard Branson, when writing to email, encouraged him to bring his harem. And so I feel like in these private communications, they don't really feel the need to write in code so much. And so, yeah, the food terms, it's just that, food terms.
You can listen to the full episode wherever you get your podcasts. Now you're in the know. Thank you for listening to Big Headlines. Make sure you follow, share, and review Big Headlines. Today's episode was produced by Felix Slew. Enrica Amaturo is our lead producer. I'm Virjesh Dave. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.